Hi, we're going to do science for our unit study on the doorbell ring by Pat Hutchins. Do you remember that Grandma made cookies and taught Ma how to make cookies? And then Mom made cookies for all of the friends. And they all knew what the cookies looked like, smelled like, and tasted like. So we're going to share our family recipe. It is a cookie recipe just like Grandma, but it is very, very simple. The only problem with it is that the first ingredient is peanut butter. So if you have nut allergies, this is not the recipe for you. The reason why we chose it, even though we have so many nut allergies, is because it is our family recipe, and that's what the book is doing, is family recipes. And if you don't have a nut allergy, this is such a great first recipe to learn because there are only 4 ingredients. Are you ready to go through the ingredients with me? First one is what? Peanut butter. Then, and we only need we just need 1 cup of peanut butter. And then we need 1 cup of sugar, brown sugar. Then we need 1 egg. And then a 1/2 cup of milk chocolate chips. We're gonna put it into the oven and then we'll be done. So nice, easy recipe. To begin, we always, whenever we're gonna make something, we like to do say this with me, mise en place. It's a fancy French way of saying having all the ingredients ready to go in place. So we're gonna do our mise en place by getting everything measured out. My first ingredient is the peanut butter, and I'm gonna get it into my 1 cup measuring cup and having it all set to go. We're gonna set the oven to 350 degrees, and there it's all set to warm. That's our first step before we begin our mise en place, our putting all of the ingredients into the measuring bowls. So we have our mise en place, everything except the egg. And I'm gonna show you, we like to crack eggs into their own bowls to begin with, so that if there are any shells or anything, we don't get the shell into everything else. And whenever you touch egg or chicken especially, you wash your hands. We washed our hands before we began as well. So we just wash our hands throughout the whole thing, just to make sure that we're only sharing yummy ingredients and love and nothing more than that. So we have our mise en place. We have our peanut butter, our sugar, our egg, and then the chocolate chips. All set to go, only 4 ingredients. And that's our mise en place. I'm gonna use a spatula, put the peanut butter in. Do you like peanut butter? I really like peanut butter. I think it's so yummy. There's the peanut butter. Here's the sugar. I love watching brown sugar fall in. See how it keeps its shape. Even though if I poured it in, it's starting to crack down the middle. I think that's fun looking. And I'm gonna stir it up. There's the egg. Break that yolk and keep stirring. So we have our 3 ingredients in, brown sugar, peanut butter, and egg, and we add the chocolate chips, just a 1/2 cup. Everything else was 1 whole, but we don't need quite as many chocolate chips. These chocolate chips are really big, so we may not have even needed a 1/2 cup. But there we are. That's our dough. We are all set for the next step. Hi, we've stirred everything together. Now we remember that we use peanut butter. You could use any nut butter that you like. And our last step includes an ingredient I didn't talk about, and that's granulated sugar or white sugar. Now, I have a friend who is faithful to her keto diet, and she loves monk fruit as a sugar substitute. And the white monk fruit is a perfect 1-to-1 substitution. If you need a teaspoon of white sugar, a teaspoon of monk fruit will do. and they taste exactly the same consistency and everything. I have the golden monk fruit, and it does taste differently. So I'm not going to use it in this recipe, but I usually do substitute monk fruit for sugar because it's 0 calories. So I'm going to dip my little scoop into the sugar. Doesn't really do anything the first time around, so I'll do it the next time just to try and keep it from getting too sticky. And you can do this with a scoop, but you can also just use a pair of spoons. It doesn't really matter. We're making balls right now. So I'm going to put it into my clean hands, drop it into the sugar, spin, 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 spin. This is the part that kids can really get involved in. And drop it onto the tray. I use stone, and the reason that I use stone is because it's what I have. If I didn't have stone, I would use something else. And the reason why I have stone is because I was a Pampered Chef lady for years. I didn't sell Pampered Chef, you'll hear me say, because I don't sell much of anything. I'm a horrible salesperson. I don't persuade well, but I have all of the stoneware. So I'm just going to make all of these balls. If I had a little friend, I would put my friend in charge of creating these balls. I use the scoop. This can be a hands-only part of the recipe where you just reach in with your bare hands, roll a ball, dip it into the white sugar, and place it on the thing. We roll it into the ball between the flats of our hands like that. See that? Like Play-Doh. And roll it around in the sugar. And I'm going to fill up this whole tray. Do you see all my cookies? Now is the last step before we put them in the oven. We're going to use a fork to create a pattern. I'm going to go push, push. And this is where our cookies get their name. We call these tic-tac-toe cookies. Push, push. Now, my fork is going to get a little bit sticky, and when it does, I'm going to dip it into that sugar that we used. Push, push. I'm going to cross it this way and come back over here. Starting to get sticky. I'll dip it in. This is also a perfect job for little people. Okay, so all of my cookies have been squished in both ways. We have tic-tac-toes. Now comes the part where we put it in the oven. And I know that you kids are smart and big and strong, but the oven is not for you. You know that I love messes and mistakes. I love getting over them. I love cleaning them up together. I think that's wonderful. I don't want to ever have any of you have to deal with a mistake that happens in the oven. When we open the oven, only grown-ups open the oven. But everything is hot. This is hot. This is hot. The top and the Rex, everything is so hot. You have to have very good balance and long arms to put this in and touch nothing. Nothing should be touched. This is a grown-up job. I don't want anybody having that mistake or mess to clean up, okay? So grown-ups put into the oven and we wait for 8 to 10 minutes. It's shorter if you have a metal pan, all right? While the cookies are cooking, the next step, I actually did it earlier, is cleaning. My grandma always said you don't cook in the kitchen unless you clean in the kitchen. So I just always am in the habit of when I use something, it goes straight into the sink, give it a scrub and set it to the side. We want to keep everything clean so that everyone is healthy and safe. All right, we've waited. You can see, look at, I squished a cookie with my finger to see if it was ready. It wasn't ready, so we cooked it for a little bit longer. Remember, no littles around the oven, okay? Grown-ups only. Only big people pull things out of the oven. And this one is ready. I'm going to put it on the rack. And look at that. We've got cookies to share. Here is our finished product. Our cookies. Look at that. And you see the little tic-tac-toe sign still in there? I am so thankful for this book and for you that I had the opportunity to make cookies. I wish I could share them with you. Bye.